Evening, guys. Hi, I hope everyone's well. I'm back for another video, and this is the previously mentioned showing of a collection or some some pics that I got from a friend's collection about a week or week last weekend, not last weekend, but the one before. And basically the story was, some of you may remember, I had picked a few up last year that he'd let me, that he was prepared to let go. Some of them were his, some of them were from his late brother's collection. And there were sort of Groundhog's albums and one or two late 60s couple of gun albums and so on. Spirit really was decent late 60s, early 70s stuff. So he basically, he's been kind of very transient over the last sort of year, 18 months. So a lot of his worldly goods have been in a container. He told me back in the summer that he was working his way through sorting out the container so that he could get to these records. It's his entire record collection. And the other week he phoned me to tell me that he'd made enough headway to gain access to them. So would I want to go up and have first dibs? Absolutely. As you do, because these opportunities don't come up very often. So yeah, so his taste is very eclectic. He's got he's a few years older than me. So he's kind of been collecting since the early 70s. He, so there's sort of 70s stuff, or quite a lot of 70s stuff. Fair bit of 80s stuff as well. A majority of that is kind of quite pop, mainstream pop and compilations. Many of those I wasn't interested in. But there were a few 80s ones that I did pick up that I was glad to get, and some 70s and a 60s, original 60s album, which I'll show at the end, which was just mind-blowing, to be honest. I was really, really pleased to get that. But yeah, so I'll kind of start in the 80s and sort of work back, I guess. All in all, I picked up about 20 albums and a couple of 12 inches. And the condition was, on the whole, at least VG plus. Some are excellent. None of them were in sleeves, but they were all really well looked after, really stored. He basically got his Calyx units in the container, so they were all kept really, really vertical. And they hadn't been in the container too long, so there wasn't a kind of damp issue like there was with my friend's collection that I picked up previously. So generally speaking, just really, really happy with what I'd got. We didn't work out a price until after I'd kind of, basically, because I needed to check the matrix numbers, check the condition, clean them, etc. So he let me take them on approval, and once I'd play tested them and checked them out, used Discogs median price as a bit of a guide, I eventually made him an offer, and he accepted it. So it was all very mutual, and very, all was good in the end. So great. Okay, so let's without further ado, I'll show you the records. So okay, so the first two are by the same band, 80s band that I've that I really liked, particularly the first album and their early material. So this is Soft Cell, and this is a 12-inch of Tainted Love with Where's the version of Where Did I Love Go, and Tainted Dub, so like a dub instrumental version on the back. So yeah, in really nice condition. Very happy to pick that up. Then he also had this, which is Non-Stop Erotic Dancing, which is a sort of an EP, mini album. Is it played at 33? Yeah, it is. So it's like a kind of mini album. In really, really nice condition. So it has side 1 Memorabilia, Where Did I Love Go and What, side 2 A Man Could Get Lost, Chips on My Shoulder and Sex Dwarf. So quite a lot of covers there. But yeah, I mean, he was certainly into his girl groups and that kind of 60s vibe was Mark. Yeah, I just really like that early 80s kind of synth pop. It's really good. Ticks a box for me. It came with a couple of art cards of the guys, and also an original merchandise sheet, which is kind of nice to have. Okay, and then we get onto the albums. This is one I've never owned on vinyl, but I did have on CD quite a long time ago. Donald Fagen, The Night Flight from 1982. So I think this is his first solo album after Steely Dan on Warner Brothers. Comes with an original lyric in it as well. Yeah, I really like this album. I always liked I think it was the single New Frontier. It was really good. It's just one of the most amazingly well mastered records. I mean, everybody always goes on about Aja. This is easily as good in terms of sound quality. You know, and even you find with these records, they're so well mastered at the grassroots level that even if you get a reissue or bad copy, they still sound pretty good. So yeah, Donald Fagen, Night Flight, pleased to get that. Okay, and really pleased to get this. I've never owned this before. It's a comp. This is What Is Beat. So this is Best of the Beat. I think this came out about 1983, 84, I think. So obviously they'd done the first 3 albums, Just Can't Stop It, What Happened, and Special Beat Service. So this has all the singles from those albums. I have all 3 albums. But what intrigued me with this is the free album that came with it, which is the remixes and extended versions. So you've got obviously Tears of a Clown, Hands Off She's Mine, Mirror in the Bathroom, Stand Down Margaret, Twist and Crawl, Doors of Your Heart, Save It for Later, Too Nice to Talk To, I Confess, The Amazing Best Friend, Drowning, Aki 123, Can't Get Used to Losing You, Ranking Full Stop. And then it comes with bonus album, which has extended version of Tears of a Clown, Hands Off She's Mine, Mirror in the Bathroom, Twist and Crawl, Save It for Later. Fantastic. Just really, really pleased to get this. as an addition to the main albums. Okay, and then I say you had quite a few 70s albums, mainly comps and so on, but also a lot of studio albums as well, and some which I used to have, but I don't have any more, or upgrade copies, and some I've never owned. So a real mixed bag. Pleased to get this one. I have seen this before, but this is in lovely nick. This is the story of the Bonzos. So it's a double compilation retrospective of the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band. Lots of pictures of the guys, Neil Innes, Viv Stanchel, et al. And bio in the middle. So yeah, this has obviously all the classic songs, I'm the Urban Spaceman, Canyons of Your Mind, Jollity Farm, Hello Mabel, Look at Me, The Equestrian Circus. Yeah, just a really good retrospective to have of that. Did I show the label? I think I did on that. So that's, yeah, it's United Artists. I think anything else came in that with the sleeves? Nope. So the condition of all these is really, really nice. Pleased to get this. I always like the title track. So this is the Soul, Detroit Emeralds and Feel the Need, 1977. On that kind of green Atlantic. And the vinyl looks like it's virtually never been played. The only thing I would say about these, which I guess if I was to sell them would bring the value down, is that he used to catalogue his albums and put these kind of ridiculous stickers on them with numbers, which I think he gave up on after a while. I did try to get one or two of them off, but it was at the risk of ripping the sleeve, so I'm kind of just going to leave them be unless I can kind of steam them off somehow. Okay, so this is a nice one to get. This is Chicken Shack and Accept. I think this is 1970. So I actually picked this up because I thought this might be one with Christine McVie on when she was with the band prior to Fleetwood Mac. As it turns out, she wasn't. But it's still a nice listen. It's quite bluesy, blues rock. Yeah, nice to have. I don't know how often I'll probably play this. I might move it on eventually, but happy to hang on to it for now. Okay, Lou Reed album I've heard, but I've just never owned before. This is Berlin. This is a reissue, I think a late 70s or early 80s reissue on the black RCA International label. So I would suspect this is probably early 80s. Really nice condition, no spindle marks whatsoever, just a bit of dust. This is one that hasn't had a clean yet, so that'll need a clean at some stage. Yeah, so quality album, obviously in that early 70s period, with the Bowie Association obviously after Transformer. So glad to get that. And from 73, from the same year, I'm not a huge fan of this band, but this is far and away the mintiest copy of this record that I've ever seen. I just I couldn't resist it. So this is an original first press copy of Status Quo Hello with the sort of silver foil cover. With the original lyric in a bag on the Spaceship Vertigo. Just literally absolutely mint, bar a bit of dust. Virtually no spindle wear at all, so I get the impression that these were played very, very little. So also comes, which I've never seen, with the original poster of the guys. And yeah, I mean, I don't listen to Quo very often, and I guess I probably prefer the psychedelic period, which is usually an unpopular choice. Most people usually prefer the boogie kind of 70s period. I don't mind a bit of this every now and again. I say I've got a handful of their albums, Blue for You. And yeah, I do listen to them every now and again. So happy with that. 73 again. So this one is, I think he offered this one to me before and I turned it down. But I thought I'd give it a punt this time. This is Medicine Head, and this is 1 and 1 is 1. So yeah, Medicine Head, kind of bluesy pop rock band from the early 70s. I believe this is their debut album. It's got this kind of die cut kind of affair that kind of opens up. And the record's on Polydor. Lovely, shiny, glossy condition. Gave it a quick clean. Sounds absolutely not a pop or crackle on it. So again, I don't think it's really been played. Obviously the title track, 1 and 1 is 1. I actually remember I had that on a underground compilation that came out in the late 80s. So I was familiar with that song. The rest of the album I hadn't heard. And yeah, it's bluesy rock. It's all right, not bad. It's not going to blow your socks off, but nice to play every now and again. Okay, these next two I was really pleased with because I've only ever owned one of these records, and it was a reissue. These are both originals, and they're absolutely mint, and I just couldn't resist them. So this is the the blue and red Beatles comps from 1973. 1962 to 66, 67 to 70 respectively. Don't really need to show these because I'm sure you all either own them or you've seen them dozens of times, but these are the original pressings, UK pressings. Lovely mint laminate Clarifour covers, just like they've never ever been played. All have the original inners, and the records are mint as well. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing that I haven't already got on vinyl or CD really, but just for the collection, these are the best condition versions of these albums I've ever seen. I thought it's highly unlikely I'm likely to find better copies, even though they're common as it. You see them everywhere. But an opportunity to have them, and I thought, why not? Okay, an album I've previously owned, but not in its complete form. Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Again, annoying sticker there, unfortunately. Again, really, really nice condition. Original UK. With the booklet. But more importantly, and was what swung it for me, was the EP, which had the extra 4 songs, which I've never owned before on my previous copy, which I let go of because it wasn't in particularly good condition anyway. So I was always looking for an upgrade. This is definitely it. So I'm definitely never going to need another copy of this. I think I have it on CD as well. I mean, it's just a quintessential Stevie album, isn't it? So yeah, really pleased to get that. I already owned a reissue of this, but this is an early 70s, I think a second press. So this is Genesis Foxtrot from 72. I think the original was on either the pink Charisma label or the large Mad Hatter. So this is the small Mad Hatter label. So I suspect this is second or third press probably. In really nice condition. I had just a early 80s repress of this, so this will replace that. So happy with that one. I was in two minds to pick this up because I'm not a huge fan of this artist, even though I know he's incredibly revered. So we've got Frank Zappa and Hot Rats. But I've heard that this is one of his more kind of accessible records from 1969. I think it's early-ish press. It's on the Tan Steamboat, so probably early 70s repress on Bizarre Records. I tried my hardest to actually find this on Discogs, but there's so many variants and versions with the Bizarre logo and the Reprise, different catalogue numbers. Even checking the dead wax, it was really difficult to locate this, but I'm fairly certain it's from the label. It's an early 70s pressing, certainly not an original, but in really, really lovely condition. And it sounds fantastic, and yeah, I really enjoyed this, particularly the opening instrumental Peaches on Regalia. I really like that. And somebody on Facebook, a friend of mine on Facebook, who's a bit of a Zappa fan, told me that there's lots and lots of additional bonus material that was recorded for sort of jams, I guess, for this album, which didn't surprise him in the least from what I've heard of Frank Zappa. So, but yeah, that's Frank Zappa and Hot Rats. Okay. Unbelievably, I've never owned a vinyl version of this album. This was the only one of the first 4 Blondie albums that I didn't have. So Parallel Lines, I've had a CD copy of it for years, and I knew all the tracks of it because I've heard the album dozens and dozens of times over the years. But again, really nice sort of minty original copy with the original inner. On Chrysalis. Yeah, you've all seen this hundreds of times. Okay, this next Next couple. Album I've never owned. I'm not a massive fan of him, but I love one or two tracks off this, so I thought I'd pick it up. It's Billy Joel, The Stranger. And I really kind of got this for the last track on side one, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, which is the kind of long song, 8-minute epic story telling. It's just great. It's a really, really great song. I love the way it's got all the different parts, and it's just musically really interesting. There's no, whatever your thoughts about Billy Joel, there's no denying he's a incredibly accomplished jazzy pop sort of pop singer. Some of it's quite of its time, I guess, but just incredibly well written songs. And this is probably one of his best. I mean, you've got Moving Out, The Stranger, Just the Way You Are, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, She's Always a Woman to Me, Get It Right the First Time. I mean, it's like a greatest hits in itself, really, isn't it? So that's Billy Joel, The Stranger from 1977. Okay, this one I'd owned on CD before, never on vinyl. I don't always listen to them, but I do quite like them. Prog pop band, Barclay James Harvest. This is October on. I think it's an original with a kind of embossed. This is kind of all embossed and stuff here, which is really nice. Comes with the original inner sleeve and lyric. Yeah, and this is from 76, so this is the one before their really big album, which was Gone to Earth, which I love that album. This isn't quite as good as that, but it's still got some really nice moments. Polk Street Rag, The World Goes On, Rock and Roll Star, Mayday. Sort of soft progressive pop. It's very well produced, well recorded. I like listening to this stuff every now and again. It's nice. So that's Barclay James Harvest and October on. I think they fell out, didn't they? Les Holroyd and John Lees. I think they tour now as separate bands. Okay, and the last four now I was super happy to get for various reasons. Okay, so this is an album that I've owned for years, and it's a top 10 album for me, absolutely. This is a first UK press of Queen's debut. I've seen the copies of this quite a few times at record fairs and so on. It's usually just a little bit more than I want to pay, and the condition isn't always great, either the sleeve or the record. This is mint. I know it's a very first press because it's the Kip name in the Dead Wax. I checked it on Discogs. So yeah, the only other versions I've had of this are a Fame copy from the 80s, which always didn't sound particularly great, and then a remastered version that came out, the Queen Master Series, I think in the mid late 90s, something like that, with CD with the rounded corners. It sounds all right. For me, this absolutely just aces all of that sound wise. There's that new version that came out a couple of years ago. Brian May kind of did the big video splurge about with a big box and the Queen one and all the rest of it. And I think it's got the extra track Mad the Swine, which is quite a fun, quite a nice song. But I was thinking to myself, I thought, once I've cleaned this up and clean the needle, stylus, I'll put this down, and this is as good as I've ever heard this album sound. So yeah, delighted really to get this, because this is probably my second favourite out of the first three albums. I love Sheer Heart Attack first, then this one, and then Queen 2. But it's a close call between Sheer Heart Attack and this one. Just Keep Yourself Alive, doing all right. That first side, Great King Rat, My Fairy King, which is probably the Mercury song, my second or third favourite Queen song ever. I just think that's such a beautifully well constructed, just such a creative, so much creativity on this. I mean, it doesn't get the kudos of some of their later stuff, or because the production is more raw or whatever, you know. But you know, I love this record. So yeah, really happy to get that. And this is one I used to own, and it really surprised me actually how much I enjoyed it. But I really wanted to pick it up because it's Queen Jazz. So this is a UK first press with a kind of embossed cover there, and it's also, which I'm probably not going to be able to show, it's got the still perforated, stuck to the gatefold, the original poster with the girl is naked on the bike, which caused so much controversy, and I think was only with the first pressings. So yeah, delighted to get that. This album it's never particularly been a favourite of mine. It's not a period of Queen that I'm always completely enamored with, but listening to it again, I mean, I've always liked the singles. A Bicycle Race, Fat Bottom Girls, I think it's a bit dated now, kind of with the lyric. But Don't Stop Me Now, I mean, that's arguably one of their greatest ever singles. I love that. Even though I hear it loads on the radio, it gets tons of airplay, I don't get sick of the energy of it. It's just fantastic. But there was a few of the songs that I hadn't heard for a long time and remembered how much I enjoyed it. The Leaving Home Ain't Easy, the Brian May song, really surprised me how much I enjoyed that. Yeah, and yeah, what else have we got on here? Mustafa the Opener's interesting. If You Can't Beat Them's all right. Jealousy's quite a nice song. The Roger Taylor songs, Fun It and more of that jazz, I could definitely do without. That not two of his best songs, but yeah, nice to get back into the collection and revisit it, because it's surprised me how much I actually enjoyed most of that album. Okay, down to the last two now. This is one I took a punt on. I'd never heard this. So this is a UK original of Ginger Baker's Air Force. So this is Air Force 2, so obviously the second one. I don't know whether I've ever seen the first one. Certainly don't think I've heard them. So this comes with a lyric original. Well, it's not a lyric sheet, but it's a credit sheet. And obviously the gatefold sleeve. On Polydor, and this is from, I think this is 1970. So I guess this was his project after Cream had finished. I was expecting this just to be full of just kind of blues jams and stuff, but it's actually more interesting than that. There's kind of soul-y, funky vibes on it. There's some really nice female backing vocals, and there's more going on than just blues rock, and you know, drum solos and so on. So yeah, really nice listen. If I ever see the first one, I'll probably look to pick that up, because yeah, it's really good listen. So That's Ginger Baker's Air Force 2 from 1970. Okay, and then this last one, I was absolutely just delighted to pick this up. Not because it's particularly rare, albeit that I would imagine that there's probably there's probably not, well, I've never seen a copy of this record complete with everything in it and in such good condition, but that doesn't mean to say that it's stupidly rare, but certainly valuable to a certain extent. And I did give him a reasonable price for this because yeah, it's just such a lovely copy. So it is a UK first mono press of the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed on Decca from 1969. And yeah, so that's the credits on the inner. And there's the label. And this was just in absolutely minty condition. Look at that. Just phenomenal condition. Couple of marks. Maybe it's been played twice. I don't know. But it just sounds incredible. It absolutely just pops out of the speakers. It's so dynamic. You know, just that beautiful spine-tingling guitar at the start of Gimme Shelter. Just amazing, breathtaking. And even better than that, it even comes with the original poster. And this is literally like if you got a repress, it was like a brand new. I don't think it's ever been taken out, the sleeve. Absolutely just minty, immaculate, no rips, nothing, no holes in it, as if it had been put on the wall and put back in the record. Just perfect. The only thing I'd say with the sleeve's pretty much immaculate on the laminate. There's a little bit of a crease on the corner there, and you can see that. But other than that, just perfect spine. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful copy. So that's it, guys. Yes, so really pleased to get those. I'm going to end it there. I'm not going to show my new records. I'll leave that for another video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that and you've stayed with me. It's another long one, nearly 40 minutes. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything you liked there, didn't like, whatever, always glad to hear your comments. I hope you're all having a good week, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. So take care of yourselves. All the best. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.